What's going on, guys? Back with another Wizards video. Now today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of that Bradley Beal Taylor Rooks interview that happened on Bleacher Report, I believe, if it wasn't yesterday, the day before that. And also today TyTy Washington and Dyson Daniels had a little bit of a face-off, as they both were scheduled to have their pre-draft workouts today. But before we get started, if you guys enjoy the content, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll be having a Twitch Wizards draft watch party where I'll be reacting to the Wizards first and second round draft picks live on Twitch. The link to my Twitch channel is in the description, so make sure to follow me on Twitch to join the watch party. Well, to start off, I wanted to talk about Bradley Beal and a couple comments he made during the interview with Taylor Rooks. He spoke about the Wizards just kind of having an inability to attract free agents, big free agents, because Taylor Rooks asked him and said, would it be nice if guys wanted to come to Washington and play with you rather than have you leave and come join their team and go play with them? And obviously, he was like, yes. But he has acknowledged, even on the Draymond Green podcast, how the Wizards have struggled to, attract those free agents and also bring in those names. And when you think about what the reason for that is, it's pretty simple. It really is. As far as market-wise, in the NBA landscape, the Wizards are a pretty small, low, mid-market team, which is kind of crazy to me because Washington, D.C., you would think would be lovely for any, player. The diversity in the city, the nightlife, they have one of the biggest media markets in the world. It's crazy how you would think that they're a market like Oklahoma City or Milwaukee or something, but we're talking about Washington, D.C., where the president stays. But that only can do so much. You look at the history of the Wizards, you look at their front office history, it just hasn't been good, man. They had their opportunity and chances, back in the younger Wall Bill days, but Wall and Bill weren't the best recruiters. I don't know if they were the best recruiters, or maybe people just really didn't want to come to DC. You got locker room drama, you got the Gilbert Arenas thing back in the past with the guns and stuff. And then if you're talking about now, it will be even harder. It was hard to bring in guys and big names back when Wall and Bill were good. And the Wizards also in their front office, they don't really take big risks like that anyway. They don't go out on a limb and make these big trades. Like how the Thunder traded for Paul George. So the Wizards, that's just not in their DNA to take huge risks, move a bunch of, young names, young draftees that they drafted to go get a bigger guy. That's just not what they do. That's not in their DNA, and that hurts them. Because you either can get big names and attract them, but if you can't, then you have to draft well. And we all know the Wizards in the past have not had the best drafts. Recently, Corey Kispert looks good. Denny has definitely flashed potential, and Rui has definitely flashed potential as well. But everybody still has their knocks on each one of those young prospects. And it's not like a no-brainer when you think of the top young NBA prospects from their draft classes. You don't automatically just think of their name. So, it's hard to trust the Wizards to draft like a bona fide star when you're talking about drafting outside of the top three. You look at John Wall, you look at Bradley Beal, and that's it. I don't think there's been anybody else outside of that top three, because Otto Porter was a third-round pick. I don't think there's been anybody outside of the top three that has signed a second contract after their rookie contract. Outside of the top three, outside of John, Brad, and Otto, this is a really bad look. It's a really bad look. Maybe Denny or Rui can break that trend. I hope they do. And I hope they continue to improve as well. But, you look at it, you got to win, man. You got to be a winning franchise. You got to live in an attractive city. I know Washington isn't like Miami, where it's just nice weather all the way around, like LA, where it's nice weather. DC has its trash weather. I get that. It's definitely not as attractive as a Florida or California. I definitely get that. But You know, logically, you would think the Wizards should be able to attract some free agents here. But mainly, and most importantly, they got to win. And you look at the Wizards, what, like the last 3-4 years? They haven't won jack. They haven't been winning. You know, they just really haven't won. So it doesn't make the situation any more attractive to these big name free agents, you know. Guys, and I won't say that it's a lack of guys wanting to play with Bill or, you know, etc. Because all of these guys like Bradley Beal and respect him and they want to play with him. They just don't want to play with him in DC, and that's the issue. That's why everybody wants Brad to come join the Lakers or join the Celtics or join the Heat. Players want to play with Bradley Beal. They acknowledge that he's an extremely good player. But they just don't want to come in DC and play. And that has been a thing for years. Years and years and years. You know, so that's not surprising. You know, and I think that's an issue that's going to continue to be an issue with the Wizards. Them attracting big names. If it happens, they got to put all their chips in and trade for a big name like a lot of small market teams have to. Or they have to draft well, which they don't really do. You know, so it's tough. You know, it's tough. So the only way I see a big name free agent coming in Washington is through not free agency, through a trade. They will have to, you know, get rid of some of the young guys and put all their chips in. And that's something the Wizards don't really do. That's not in their DNA. So that will be surprising to me. But secondly and lastly, I want to talk about, you know, the pre-draft workout stuff with TyTy Washington and Dyson Daniels coming in today. They said Dyson Daniels, the Wizards staff, was, you know, glowing about him. He finished their 20-line drill or something like that. He was the first prospect to do it since Aaron Holiday. Obviously, that doesn't mean much if you see the name Aaron Holiday. But Dyson Daniels, he's what, 6'8" or something like that. May grow another inch or so. I mean, I don't see him making it to 10. He's number 2 on my list behind Benedict, but I just don't see him making it to 10. I think he's gone at 7 or 8. I would be shocked if he made it to 10. I think Dyson, man, is a guy who's going to be a very good player, man. I do. I know his shooting is going to be that swing skill for him, but I mean, he has all the talent, bro. He has all the intangibles. He has the IQ. I would love if he made it to 10, you know, personally, so the Wizards will have the opportunity, because I do think he's a guy that the Wizards will heavily look at, you know, so we'll see. Also, just before I go, I seen an article on Twitter saying that the Wizards were interested in potentially moving that 10th pick. I don't know whether it's to go up or to go down. Oh no. I wouldn't mind them trading up if they really wanted to make a splash. The Kings are looking to trade their pick, that 4th pick. They're looking to move something. You know, maybe if they really are heavy on Jaden Ivey, you know, they really want somebody who could potentially be a game changer for the franchise. Go all ahead. I'm all for taking risks, guys. I've said this over and over and over again. I'm all for the Wizards taking risks. I just want us as a unit to have a good Wizards basketball team. A consistent, good basketball product. That's all I want the Wizards to do. You know, so it's going to be interesting what they do. Draft is coming up shortly in a few more weeks. I mean, I'm ready to see what they're going to do. I'm ready to see who's going to be available. I'd be shocked if they move. You know, you always talk about maybe moving, but it's the Wizards. I'd be surprised if they move. But let me know how you guys feel in the comment section about TyTy Washington, Dyson Daniels. Also, what Bradley Beal said about the Wizards struggling to attract free agents. What do you think would help bring free agents into Washington? Or do you feel like also it's just simply draft better or trade? I mean, let me know in the comment section how you feel. Like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Also, follow my Twitch, which will be in the description. So we will be watching this draft together. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.